Hello and welcome to the 200 subscriber special, the Game Room Tours with Dave and Dan. We're going to start by showing my game room, then Dan, you're going to show your game room. Like we said, the special twist is that you guys have a chance to win one of these awesome t-shirts. So Dan, you want to go over what we're going to do for that?
Basically what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 questions that we'll ask after both videos, the whole game room tour has been shown.
Yes.
Be 3 questions, either something that we said in the video or something that's in each one of our game rooms. If you answer those, then you'll be entered into a drawing to win one of these fabulous t-shirts.
Yes, the other stipulation, you have to be a subscriber. Since this is we're rewarding the subscribers, you have to answer the question right and you have to be a subscriber. That's it, and like Dan said, if you get the answers right, you're going to be entered in for the shirts. So without further ado, let's get this tour started. Hello everyone and welcome to our 200 subscriber special where you're going to get a game room tour of not only my room but Dan's room as well. As you can see, it's aptly named the Man Cave, so why don't you come on inside and see what's going on. So the first thing I want to point out about my game room man cave is that I do have a candle in here, and men, it's important. Just because you have a man cave does not mean it needs to smell like a man cave. Thus, candle is beautiful. It can smell just like your wife cleaned. You know, when you have guys over, they're not grossed out. It smells good. So also I want to point out, my little cousin Landon gave this to me, asked me to display it in my man cave. So Landon, thank you very much. So next up we have this cool looking Zelda chest that holds some extra cords. I got it at Joann Fabrics, so just thought it fit, so I picked it up. Over here we have my old boob tube TV. Right now my top loader NES is hooked up to it with Super Mario 3. And my ping pong paddle, which I'm an avid ping pong player, so you gotta be ready at all times. Down here we have my original Xbox with some red customization to it. My bongos for a couple games on the Gamecube and a Sega Master System. If we go over here, here's where I keep a lot of my retro systems. We have my Intellivision 2, front loader NES, Genesis 3, top loader Super Nintendo, Gold, N64, Sega Saturn, PS2, Gamecube, and I do have some other systems. I have some newer systems as well. They're not hooked up in here, they're in my living room. So, also we have some cool trinkets and gifts that I've been given over the years. For example, we have these awesome Mario Kart RC cars. Got these for Christmas actually, and very cool, very collectible. Don't see them very often. We have Donkey Kong, Mario, Yoshi. Not a big plushie collector, but I do have a couple. I have Diddy Kong, Lackey 2, Paratroopa, Luke from Professor Layton. This is actually my wife's. 2 Sackboys and Amy from Okami Den. Huge Okami fan, so I really love this plushie. I have some other cool little things. Have Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D soundtrack, Majora's Mask 3D soundtrack, Super Smash, Wii U 3DS soundtrack, and my gold Zelda DS, as well as a gift from one of my best friends, Wei. When he went to Nepal, he brought back this game called Bok Chow for me. It's handcrafted, kind of plays like chess, but it's very, very fun. Me and my wife still play it all the time, and we love it. So. Also up here, one of my other best friends, Gabe, for my bachelor party, he set up a Super Smash Bros. Tournament, the first one on the N64. And as you can see, I did not win. One of my other best friends, John C, won. But love this, love hanging it in here. But Gabe, you know I love you. Stick to engineering because as you can tell, your spelling needs a little work. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Gabe. I love it very much. So next off, we have this bookshelf that I have display some things in here. We have my original Xbox box. We have my Top Fighter Super Nintendo Fighter Stick. Not a huge fighting game for the Super Nintendo, but only like 10,000 of these were made. It was complete in box. Very durable. It's made out of metal. Pretty cool. Down here we have a Zelda Phantom Hourglass lunchbox. My sister actually got this for me. We have a PS4 box, my Genesis 3 box. We have some Club Nintendo pins, a Club Nintendo Mario hat. Keep it in a Ziploc bag just so dust and stuff doesn't get on it. Game Boy Advance box, we have Game & Watch Ball. This was only available with Club Nintendo. You had to spend a lot of your points on it. I saved up a long time for these. We have these Platinum playing cards. I think it was an elite gift. The gifts really went downhill as the years went on for Club Nintendo, so hopefully with this new Club Nintendo thing they're doing that it's a little better. Also have this 3DS card case, number 18. I don't know how many they made. Then down here, the next slot down, we have some of my handheld stuff. We have Game Gears with some Game Gear games behind here. Mario's keeping those safe. Have a Game Boy printer, original Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance Micro, and a Red Target exclusive Game Boy Advance. And then some boxed Game Boy Advance games and original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, as well as some loose ones as well. And then a case for the Game Boy. Moving down here a little bit more, we have some pretty cool things. My favorite being when my wife she surprised me and took me to the Legend of Zelda Symphony of the Goddesses in Pittsburgh. Awesome concert. It was orchestrated. They played a bunch of Zelda pieces from all of the Zelda games. As a huge Zelda fan, this was one of the best experiences I've had. It was amazing. Also have some GameCube controllers that for the Wii U Smash. We have a Club Nintendo. This was for the NES Remix. It's a shirt. As you can see, Metroid in a Mario level. Also have another GameCube controller, and this was from Yoshi's New Island for the 3DS. The game was terrible. Well, I didn't enjoy it, but shirt's pretty cool. And then Mario Galaxy soundtrack, my Legend of Zelda 3DS XL, and Hyrule Historia. Hyrule Historia is pretty cool. Goes over how all the Zelda game timelines fall together and whatnot. Then down here I keep a lot of my strategy guides and whatnot. I have a ton of loose manuals for games. A lot of games that I own and don't have boxes for, but I do have manuals for a lot of my games. Then we have some not Club Nintendo, but Nintendo Power magazines. I have some of the original ones, and then a lot of the ones from the 2000 era where the N64 was prevalent, which is my favorite system. Then right here we have some Walking Dead. I have all the Walking Dead comics. Huge Walking Dead fan, at least the comics. Used to be a huge fan of the show. Not so much anymore. I've kind of lost interest in it. And then this whole thing is all my strategy guides. Have some pretty cool ones in there. A lot of Zeldas, Ni no Kuni, Star Ocean, all sorts of ones in there. But yeah. So there's my Kingdom Hearts blanket that's on the back of my futon. But up here we have Legend of Zelda Monopoly, a Super Nintendo that I customized myself. Nothing special, just painted it gold and green, and then some more boxes. DS Lite, Zapper, Mario Kart Wii, and then some controllers. This poster's really cool. Really like this. Looks like an original Nintendo box with the Duck Hunt character on it. And then over here, one of the coolest parts of my room came courtesy of my wife's idea. For a long time, I'd been looking for a way to display my amiibos, and I couldn't think of anything. So she's like, "Why don't you just put them on a wall?" And I was like, "That's a great idea." So we took an afternoon and did this. I have most of the Super Smash ones. A couple of the other ones, like I have Splatoon and Yoshi's Woolly World ones. For the most part, I try to stick to the Super Smash ones, which I have almost all of them. I'm missing a couple, but this is my amiibo wall, and I love it. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Amanda, for that. So I think my absolute favorite thing in this room has to be my Nintendo 64 coffee table. This came courtesy of my wife's grandpa. He was an engineer, and he designed this and built this himself for a wedding gift for me, and I absolutely love it. It's the first thing when people walk into this room that they notice and say, "Wow, that is really cool," and I say, "I know." No, I'm just kidding. I really like this. It's a really cool point of the room, and on top of it I have this, it's called the Code Book. This was courtesy of another one of my best friends. This is a work that he's worked on his entire life, and he gifted this to me. It's got codes, it's got challenges, it's got glitches, and all sorts of cool things. Just a lot of memories in this book. Very cool that he shared this with me. And then another really point of emphasis in this room is my Nintendo playchoice 10. Yes, the bottom screen. I need to fix that, but it's a really cool system that they sold to they sold to a lot of businesses, so kids could demo different games. It holds 10 games. The games that I have on my system is Super Mario Brothers, Excitebike, volleyball, baseball, pro wrestling, tennis, golf, Gradius, and the Goonies. I only have 9. They only made about 50 or so games. Games are really hard to come by, so probably not going to change them anytime soon. Then up top here we have Super Mario Chess, Mario Yahtzee, Memory Mario, and another Sackboy. And lastly, we have some boxes up here. My Dreamcast is in the box. I only play it every once in a while, so I keep it in the box. Uncharted 3 box, Wii U, Nintendo 64, and this is a DDR Mario mix. It's brand new, never been opened. And then some more posters. So yeah, that about completes it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh wait, I'm forgetting one thing. You're probably wondering where all my games are. That, you know, it's kind of important to a game room. I actually keep them right here in my closet. So this is where I keep most of the games in my collection, in this closet. As you can see, it's got the wood paneling background, channeling my angry video game nerd look to it. But let's start up top and look at some of my PS1 games. I have my PS1 games up here. I have quite a few PS1 games, and then PS3, and a few Xbox games. Not a huge collector of Xbox games, but I do have a few. And then moving down here, we have my original Nintendo games. Don't have a whole lot. The ones that I do have, I like. I always keep an eye out for other ones, but these are the ones that I have right now. Moving over to the left here, we have my Sega Genesis games in the box, and then my loose Sega Genesis games. Again, I don't have a whole lot of Sega Genesis games, but I have some Master System games as well. The ones in the blank cases, we have Alf, Afterburner, and Outrun. And in this Genesis case, we have Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster's Hidden Treasure. Sliding over here to the left more, we have Super Nintendo games. There's the mouse for Mario Paint. My boxed Super Nintendo games, don't have a whole lot of them, but like I said, I am very happy with the ones I have. And then my loose Super Nintendo games, have a lot of loose Super Nintendo games. You're probably curious as to what this gold card is. It's actually a reproduction game called Marvelous, Another Treasure Island. It's a game I really want to talk about in a future episode of DGR, so I won't talk about it now. Just keep that in the back of your mind right now. Sliding down, we come to my favorite system, as I have it right in the middle, because it's the one I go to the most, are my Nintendo 64 games. We have the microphone for Hey You Pikachu, my loose Nintendo 64 games. Here's my boxed Nintendo 64 games, and then some more loose Nintendo 64 games over here as well. I would like to go in the future for a complete Nintendo 64 collection. It's not really on my priority list, but if it happens, that would be pretty cool. Like I said, because it's my favorite system. Then down here we have my Gamecube games. I have quite a few of them. They actually extend over into another area, which we'll come to here pretty quickly. Then below that we have my Wii games, and then down here at the very bottom we have my Sega Dreamcast games. Don't have a whole lot of these. A couple of my favorite is Egg and Power Stone. Egg kind of plays like a Zelda. Every system seems to have a Zelda clone, and that would be the Dreamcast. Over here we have some more Wii games, a couple of them, and then my Wii U collection. I'm not sure how many Wii U games I have. I don't have a whole lot, but I have most of the essentials. Down here we have my Gamecube games. Or I'm sorry, an extension of the Gamecube games that I already have, so as you can tell I have quite a few. Then I have my PSP and my PlayStation Vita. Yes, I do keep it in a sock. I don't have a formal case for it, but it gets the job done. So there you go, kids. If you need a quick case, put it in a sock. And then behind there we have my Intellivision games. Probably the only one that really stands out is Masters of the Universe, Power of He-Man. Some PlayStation Vita games, don't have a whole lot of those, and then PS4 games and a couple more PS2 games. And then down here at the bottom we have my Sega Saturn games. Nothing really it stands out. My favorite is probably The Legend of Oasis. There's another Zelda clone. And then over here we have Zelda Chest that has some strategy guides in it, and then a couple cool things that I made just because I'm a Zelda fan, as you guys know. A red potion bottle, and we have some Lon Lon milk. This is actually our first sponsor, so all you Zelda fans get excited. First sponsor, Lon Lon milk, only available at Lon Lon Ranch. Very nutritious, very healthy, restores a lot of your hearts. No, I'm just kidding. Made this for fun. Thought it was a cool little prop. And then finally we have my DS games. Not all of these are mine. Some of these are my wife, like Grey's Anatomy. Don't play that game. It's my wife's. More DS games. We have an imported game, Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land European. It actually plays on a DS because the DSs aren't region locked. This is a game that I look forward to trying sometime. Some 3DS games that I have on this shelf. And down here we have PSP games. Not a whole lot. PS2 games. And yeah, that's pretty much the games in my collection. So again, thank you so much to you 200 subscribers. Me and Dan really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the game room tour. I know you're gonna look forward to Dan's room coming up here pretty quickly, but seriously, just want to say thank you guys again, and we will see you soon. Thanks.
Hi, well, this is Dan. You know me from Dan Good Repairs. I'm going to give you a game room tour. The first thing you see when you walk in my room isn't necessarily games, but it is a combination game and guitar room. So let's go. Alright, and this is where I keep my consoles. These are all my composite video systems, basically anything from Nintendo up. We're going to go over each one here a little bit. I do have here, I have a Saturn, a Dreamcast, a Wii, a PS2. I have a Sega CDX in here. Great story how that came about. We'll cover that in another session. I have a Genesis and a 32X. And then in my other one here, I have a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, new style, and a Watermelon N64, a Sega Master System, and an original Xbox. The original Xbox is modded with over 6,000 games on it from all the old school stuff. You've probably seen this in Dave's room as well in the red, but it does have all the games that maybe you would never purchase or that you can play at any time. And basically everything's hooked up to the TV, so I can just hit a switch and it's there. I don't have to worry about unplugging and plugging anything, which is awesome. So if I ever get the urge to play Master System, it just takes 2 seconds to pop a game in. If I want to play the Dreamcast, it's just 2 seconds to do that as well. Alright, so this is my Sega collection pretty much at the moment. Sega CD, a lot of these, I have the discs. I didn't have the original long box cases. So I do have like the original disc, and I printed these cases, but it's the actual disc. I mean, I have everything down from Snatcher to these. A lot of loose games. These cases were trashed. We talked about that briefly in another video. Then I have my Saturn. I've been on a big Saturn kick lately. I've probably added half of these games in the last 3 months. So awesome games. My Genesis collection. And you'll see I have some doubles here. Loose Genesis games. 32X games, not too many of those, only 4. They didn't make many. I'm looking for a few of the rare ones. I'm not about getting complete games, complete collections is what I guess I'm looking to say. I'm not interested in that. Most of the games I get, I like to play. I'm not about completing the collection. Not saying if I don't run across a rare game that's not that great that I wouldn't buy it if I got it for a good price. Do have a couple of Master System games, a few Dreamcast games on that side. Sega CD, I think we did all that. And then if you come over here, in this closet is where I have all my 64 games. I don't have nowhere near as many as Dave, being that that's his favorite system. But we do have some box ones. Pikachu system, you've seen that. Down here, Rob the Robot, complete in the box with everything. Customized Nintendo. And Dave actually made that for me for Christmas. A challenge sent complete. All my Nintendo games loose. A lot of great games in here from Metal Storm, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2, Bonk's Adventure, all the Mega Mans 1 through 6. Like I said, a lot of stuff, Dragon Warrior 1 through 4. Down below here is my boxed NES games. Don't have as many of those as I would like, of course. I'd love to have everything in a box if possible. A lot of times that's not even feasible anymore. Bins for storage controllers, extra cords, repair items, and stuff like that. That's one stack of my strategy guides and things like that. I do have my handhelds, what I currently have. This is probably one of my favorite. It's a Zelda Game & Watch from the early 80s. Works great. Guy had brought that into the store. I was very excited to buy it. He said he would only sell it to me if I was going to keep it for my collection, which I did honor that and keep it. Little bit of grief. I got to keep an eye on this regularly when Dave comes around, because this could become an MIA very quickly. I do have a Game Boy Advance SP, the 101 model with the extra bright screen, Game Boy Advance Game Shark, a Vita, new 3DS XL, Nest Cup, which is awesome. My wife gave that to me for Christmas, which is probably one of my favorite things because I'm a huge Earthbound fan. Over here on the left, I do have the first 2 issues framed of Nintendo Power. We do have a Smash Brothers 3 set. I do have a lot of the Smash Brothers amiibos. I just don't display them. I don't have the room in this room to do that. Strategy guides, little things like that. This is a pretty cool little trinket here. What this was a promotional thing given away by Sony and Squaresoft for Bushido Blade. It's actually a letter opener. I don't have the stand for it. I did get it back in the day when I worked at a store in Ohio, but it was awesome. It's still amazing that I still have it after all the years of moving around and things like that. And some Zelda strategy guides and different things like that. And up here we currently have some of the box systems I have bought over the years. I bought this past Christmas just for the look. I mean, it was amazing and we got a good deal on it. The Black Ops 3 edition of PS4, God of War edition of the PS3, the Zelda Wii U edition. One of my favorite box systems in the whole place for me personally is this complete in the box new style NES system. I was very excited about that when that came in. You don't really see those complete in the box at all at a decent price. Nice in the box, you've seen that. Wii U games and 3DS games with the amiibos, limited to those. Some more amiibos up top there. Just a few displayed, some of my favorite characters. Over here we have a Nintendo Action Set in the box, Super Nintendo Super Set in the box. Even the Hudson Multi-Tap complete in the box. Newer systems, you know, the Retron 5, I like that. I have that hooked up to a big screen if I want to play something in big screen. Vampire Knights gun, like brand new in the box. Advanced Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 3. Xbox 360. Batman, huge Batman fan, so I have some Batman collectors for the 360. Call of Duty Ghost, one of my favorite Call of Duty campaign games, awesome game. And down here we have my favorite system is the Super Nintendo. Probably half my collection's boxed, the other half isn't. I'm always looking for the boxes on the Super Nintendo if I can get them. Even for ones I have, sometimes I will get the boxes. Brand new, never opened. Nintendo controller, still has the old Toys R Us sticker on it. We definitely won't be opening that. The Earthbound you've seen in an earlier video as far as one of my favorites. Loose games down here. Shadowrun, another great game, love that game. Lost Vikings, I mean there's just about anything. But all these I have played and probably completed most of them at some point in my life. Up here we have Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, some of the boxed ones, all the Mega Mans. This one I know I got to keep an eye on Dave, he's very jealous of that. the Game Boy Advance Minish Cup. Loose ones. Vita games don't have a lot of those. Let's see, Resident Evil Collector's PS3. Nothing's ever touched in it. Actually, this Peyton Hillis came into the store and he signed a copy of Madden 12 for me. Big guy, really nice guy. Him and his wife were passing through town and they were looking for actually Nintendo games of all games. Some of my GameCube games. One thing you'll notice here is I actually have 3 Metal Gear Solid Snake Twins, and what it is 2 of them are empty boxes, 1 of them is complete. Basically just saving it for some bartering stuff down the road. My PS2 stuff, not a ton of it, but some of my favorites that I've played through. PS4, and I have some out in the other room of PS4 titles, because that's where the system is. PS1 stuff, awesome. Lunar the Silver Star Story, complete with the cloth map, that's awesome. PS3 stuff, a lot of my favorites, the Metal Gear Collection, the Metal Gear Solid 4 Collectors, really hard to come by. This is the Asian version of Resident Evil Remastered. It wasn't available in the States. One of our distributors, we picked it up through. Some more collector's guides, Nintendo Powers and different things. Some of them have things like Earthbound. I got them for that specifically. Up here we have the 3DS stuff. We have the Misspelled Revelations, if you can see, the one's not opened. Actually, they're both misspelled, so that's cool. Got both of them. DS games, loose Game Boy games, loose Game Boy Advance games, Wii games. I do have 2 of these. One is a bartering tool. Basically, that's what I do. If I pick up an extra one, Dave does the same thing to try and trade it off. For something we need, Xenoblades, Wii U stuff, Xenoblade Chronicles, all my Wii U games, 360 games. Don't have a lot of those. I mean, back when we were doing these, it was you trade in, when you were done with it, you trade it in and get something else. Panzer Dragoon, anybody that's watching me knows I've been on that kick as well because of the Saturn. So Dave actually pointed this out to me at Cartridge World and I ended up picking it up. Collector's editions of the Grand Theft Auto 4 with the lockbox. Big Soul Calibur fan. We got the Soul Calibur 5. Big box with the soundtrack and all the extra goodies with the artwork. And this is the guitar / game room. These are my guitars and amp. Not a whole lot of time to play since we had the store, but now I don't have the store. I can get back into playing a little bit. And that's my game room. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I'd like to do a shout out to thank all the subscribers for subscribing to us. We do have a lot more informative videos on repairs and just some game chats and pickups. I've been having a lot of fun being able to get some time to participate with my son Dave. Thanks.
Hello and welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed those tours. I'm going to start out with the first question that you guys need to answer, and the first question is, who has the first 2 copies of official Nintendo Power magazine framed in their game room? And you have number 2.
Yep, number 2 question is, who has an Intellivision in their game room? One of us does and one of us doesn't.
And lastly, who has a signed copy of Madden 2012 in their game room? One of us has it and one of us don't. So those are the 3 questions. Like we said at the beginning of the video, answer them correctly in the comments below, be a subscriber, and you will be entered into a chance to win one of these
awesome,
fantastically
shirts.
comfortable t-shirts.
Absolutely.
So thanks for watching, and we will be back soon, guys.